Hey everyone, Sean here from Divine Gaming with another StarCraft 2 video for everyone. So this is going to be a video about probably one of my first actually strategy videos for Protoss, an actual strategy that is really useful, especially for beginner players. It is a strategy you must know, a very basic one, but it works very well if you do it properly. So you start off by making your first pylon at 8. You can do it at 9. I like to do it at 8 to get things going as soon as possible. The second your pylon is done, get your next gateway down. I mean your first gateway actually. That's the same thing my opponent's doing so far. After your gateway, when you get 100 minerals, chrono boost out 2 workers, and then send one to go scout. Scouting is really important, which I'm trying to do more of it since I didn't do much before. So over at my opponent, he's getting his first zealot out. So am I, around the same time actually. And I wasn't paying attention to my probe, and if he didn't run into that pylon, I probably could have scattered him out, but there really wasn't much more to see other than his 2 gateways, which are right there. So I'm a bit behind, actually behind him, because my second gateway is only halfway done, and his is, well, actually, no, I'm actually ahead. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so our gateways are about the same, only my advantage is that I already have the cybernetic score up, which he does not. Getting my second assimilator, and then researching warp gate, obviously, which is the main thing you have to do as soon as you can. I wasn't paying attention, so mine was actually a bit late. So at the start of the build, you get your pylon. When the pylon finishes, get your gateway. After the gateway, get the cybernetics core the second it finishes. And actually, while your gateway is building, the first one, get an assimilator up. That's what I like to do. Get it before the cybernetics core. And to get your probes already with 50 gas by the time it finishes, so you can just start researching the second it's done. Then get your second pylon up. Second and third gateway and second assimilator here. Always getting as much workers as you can, since they are very important. So in army value, technically he is winning, kind of. He has 3, I have 2. And even near the end of the game, he actually has more units than me. But using tactics, I beat him. So I'm getting my 4th gateway up. He still only has 2. And your 4th gateway should be finishing around the same time as your research. Since my research was a bit late this game, I have to wait a bit. Chrono boosting these 2 guys since I got supply blocked here in time for the warp gate. So while you're researching warp gate, obviously be pumping out like zealots and stalkers while you're waiting for the research to start. And then at this point in the game, the second you get your warp gates done, bring the units you have already, and then warp in your first wave, which is right here, and then bring this probe with you as well. You must bring a probe when you're making your first push for the proxy pylon, or even send them out before everyone to get the pylon down. So your army should consist of maybe a couple zealots, stalkers, and 1 or 2 sentries. I like to put 2 in terms of more force fields are available. So with the probe, you have to make a proxy pylon in front of his base. Mine will be right here. Speed it up a bit. And I actually should have sent him out before my army, because when the proxy pylon finishes, you should warp in another group and then get going after that. So after the pylon finishes, you warp in some more units. You go and make your first push on the enemy. Now, most of the time with this build, depends on what race you're facing, the first push will actually win you the game, as it did in this video. Pretty short game, only 10 minutes and 30 seconds. The first push will win you the game most of the time. Now, this is when I'm about to push. he made a mistake of only building zealots. He has 2 stalkers here, but that won't do him much good. So all you really have to do in this kind of scenario is block off this entrance with force fields, assuming that you've made at least 1 or 2 sentries. Block it off with force fields so he's completely helpless. If he's a better player, then he'd move back with the zealots and retreat. But this player actually wasn't, and he stayed and ran in circles. So this is what happens. So getting these force fields down right now, almost half the zealots don't know what to do up here, and I have the advantage of stalkers just shooting them while they're running helplessly. One more force field would have been good here so that none of them actually get past, but it did the job. I personally think that force fields are a bit overpowered just because of the duration of them. They last 15 seconds, which is a pretty long time in an RTS game. So this is where the proxy pylon comes in again, warping in another wave, just to secure that you actually won the match. Now, some of the time, things don't turn out like this, and your first push might get, down. If you see that you don't have enough units to win, then there's no sense in warping in another, 4 guys to try to do more damage. Just start rebuilding your army here. See, if I had these 2 zealots, I'd warp in some more guys, and then make a pretty close followed second push if you did some damage to his army. But in this case, mine was too big, and he couldn't handle it. So, this I find is an amazing strategy. Works against almost every race. Excuse me. And, yeah, it's great. You have to know it if you play Protoss. It's a very beginner strategy for noobs. It's an amazing strategy. You're going to win a lot of games with this. Just, you have to be quick, efficient, learn some macro keys, and, yeah, that's about it. So use this, try it out, comment, tell me how it works out. Alright, thanks for watching.